Well, the elderly couple who slept as a plane crashed through their home are now suing the cargo airline. Their attorney says they have severe emotional distress. It happened near Chicago's Midway Airport last week. The pilot of a small cargo plane reported engine trouble, tried to get back to the airport, but he ended up crashing into their home about quarter mile away from the runway. The pilot died in the crash. The investigators say that small plane tore through the couple's living room and ended up about 8 inches from where they were sleeping. Their lawyer says his clients were not hurt, but they have devastating emotional trauma. We reached out to Central Airlines. It had no comment on the lawsuit. Let's talk to criminal defense attorney Rebecca LeGrand. She joins us now. Rebecca, does this couple have a case?
It certainly looks like they do. All they need to show here is that there was negligence on behalf of the airline pilot or the operators of the airline, and that they were harmed in some way. And emotional harm can be harder to prove, but here, when you've got a plane 8 inches away from you in bed, I think emotional harm is going to be pretty easy to show.
What about the negligence, though? I mean, I know a little bit about flying twin-engine planes. If your engine goes out on takeoff, and that's what happened here, it can be really difficult to get back to the airport, like this guy apparently tried to do. Is that negligence?
Absolutely, and that's a lot of what this case will involve is investigating that. At this stage, there hasn't been any report on the cause of the accident even. So we don't know, but it's pretty easy to assume that you're going to see negligence somewhere along the line. If it was something that the pilot couldn't respond to, and it may have been, was there a mistake in maintenance? Was there a mistake in taking care of those engines? Things like that can lead to the same result for the homeowners.
The fact that this couple is in their 80s, 82 and 84, does that help make their case? I mean, does a jury or maybe a judge give them more sympathy because they're octogenarians?
I think that's absolutely possible here. I mean, the story they have to tell is that this scared them. It scared them so deeply that it's causing ongoing harm. And for an elderly couple in this situation, I don't think that's going to be hard to do, to convince a jury that they were terrified.
Is this a case where an insurer would rather just pay up rather quickly than have a court case and have the testimony?
You've got to think so. I would assume that this is a case that settles and where there's a payment relatively early on, but it depends. If there really is no negligence here and they think they can prove that, then this may go to trial, or it may at least go farther in the process.
I was frankly surprised that there wasn't a post-crash fire here. The plane ended up largely intact, and the fact is, had there been a fire, this couple most likely wouldn't be alive at all.
Oh yeah, it's a miracle that they got out of this as well as they did, but you can understand why they're still very upset.
So they have filed now. Again, is the insurer for the airline likely to just try to settle something, write a check, or is this the kind of case that you put in front of a jury and a judge?
You never know, but I've got to think this is a case that will likely settle. But again, it depends on the facts. If there's really no negligence here and the airline and their insurer think they can prove that, then they may try to.
Well, that's the million-dollar question. I mean, the pilot was the only one on board. He's dead. He can't tell the story, but he did try to get back to the airport. Only had one engine working. Who decides?
Ultimately the jury, and the jury would hear from experts in aviation, in airline maintenance, in flying, about what the duty was on the pilot in a situation like this and what the duties were on the owner of the plane to take care of it and to maintain the engines.
Rebecca LeGrand joining us from Washington. Rebecca, thank you.
Thank you.